Great. Today is Thursday, the 19th of June. Can hardly believe that. But, once again, thank you for joining us weekly for those that do. And for those that are new, I appreciate that you're joining us possibly for the first time. We have kind of what looks like a full agenda today, but really it's just snippets of information. Some of this information will be in my healthcare reform newsletter that will be coming out today. So you'll get further details, but I wanted to highlight some of the, pardon me, the issues that have come up. There was an article that was written last week or came out last week that talked about the subsidy checks, meaning that the IRS is going to be contacting people and HHS is going to be reaching out to people to verify their income, verify their information such as citizenship, eligibility, of course, for the subsidy, payroll information, tax information. So I wanted you to be aware of that because there are a lot of fraudulent calls out there, of course, and it might be a good excuse for you to get in touch with the people that you've helped on the FFM to let them know that they will be getting calls or requests for information and maybe to contact you to make sure that, check the validity of those calls. But bottom line, they are checking. So you need to be aware of that. Our next bullet point is the extension on the people that are currently on COBRA. That expires on 7/1, so you can see we're running out of time. So for those of you in the group market or that have businesses near you, you may want to reach out to them and see if there is anyone currently on COBRA and see if you can contact them and help them to voluntarily waive COBRA if that's the right thing for them and see if they are subsidy eligible or if an individual non-subsidized plan would work as well or be more affordable. That's also an option. The COBRA extension, the special election period for the COBRA participants can only be obtained through the FFM, whether they're subsidy eligible or not. So just keep that in mind as well. Next bullet point, Aetna and Coventry is the first to market with information on their medical loss ratio rebates. It does appear that they're not huge. The amount that will be paid out is not terribly large, but nevertheless, starting in August, some of your individuals and groups will be receiving rebates. So again, a good opportunity to reach out to your current clients and let them know that they could expect a rebate and talk to them a little bit about what they can and can't do with those rebates. And we can talk more about the rebates and what is allowed by an employer in next week's webinar. This information, of course, is in my newsletter as well, so you can get additional information on that. Well, so the FFM certification support sessions that we ran last year, we are going to run them again this year. The first session starts on August 7th. The FFM and healthcare.gov says that the new models will be available sometime in July, but I don't know when in July, so I thought it was just best to push everything back to the first week in August and start our certification sessions at that point. We're going to be running 8 sessions. Most of them are at URL, but there will be one in the Pittsburgh area, one in the Philadelphia area, King of Prussia specifically, and one in the Wilkes-Barre area. So just keep watching for those details. What you can do in the meantime is log back into your Marketplace Medicare Learning Network LMS.com site and verify that your username and password is still valid, that you can still log in, because that's going to be imperative. You're not, if you come to one of these sessions and haven't done that, there's no way that you're going to be able to do the certification, because when you request your password, there is quite a delay from the site getting that password reset. So up in, from now until August 7th. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and log into that site and verify that information. Also verify your national producer number, all your contact information, and if you want to update your status as an agent broker for individual and shop, if that's not showing up, go ahead and do that as well. If you have any questions on that, you can contact either myself or Elise at extension 114. So last week, Christy ran a webinar talking about sales outside of, pardon me, the enrollment window. And she talked about the limited medical coverage availability, of course, the supplemental medical coverage, which covers critical illness, accident, etc. And most important, I think, the short-term medical. We've been receiving an abundance of short-term medical applications because, quite frankly, if there is not a qualifying event, that's really the only option available to your clients. The limited medical plan coverage can certainly mitigate the loss or the risk to your clients if they can't get insured through a short term, but there are some stipulations that will be coming down the pike in 2015 about limited medical plans. So again, there are options if your clients can't fit into a qualifying event, but if you have any questions on that information, you can contact your case manager, or you can contact Christy Saul at extension 131, and she can help you with all of that information. So back to our agenda. There's also an article that came out this week about health insurance and the language of health insurance and how difficult it is for lay people to even understand what deductibles are, co-pays, co-insurance. We in the business understand this. It's a difficult language for those that aren't entrenched into this side of the business. But again, I throw out to you that it's a good excuse to contact those clients, whether on or off exchange, whether they're grandmothered, whether they're non-PPACA or not, and just keep in front of your clients and ask them if they have any questions on how their plan should be utilized or can be utilized. Again, I don't think that it can ever hurt, especially on the individual health side, to stay in front of your clients and let them know that you're still there and willing to help them, because health insurance in some ways is turning into a commodity, and that people think that it's easy to go on the internet and purchase, but the fact remains that it is confusing, and your clients are looking for help. So the number one source that clients choose for questions to be answered on health insurance are agents. So keep that in mind and reach out to your clients. Still looking for some FFM horror stories to add to my collection. Some of you were very kind to send me some comical horror stories, comical in the sense that, nothing surprises me anymore, but sad because these problems are occurring. But go ahead and continue to send those to me if you would. Just speaking of FFM horror stories, back to the first bullet point, one of my agent partners sent me documentation that their client received, it's a single woman, received from HHS asking for income verification and citizenship proof. And the funny thing is that it was the single woman's name listed, and right beside her, also having the information requested, was the name of the agent. So, again, there are going to be issues, there are going to be problems. I think all of us know that that's inevitable from all of us that have been in this from day one. So again, just, with those IRS checks, just make sure that your clients know that they can reach out to you for questions. Next to last bullet point is the Central Penn Business Journal Healthcare Symposium. It is set for July 25th from 7:30 to 11. It is at the Sheridan Harrisburg Hershey. convention center, hotel. And, again, as I mentioned last week, I'm very privileged to be given the opportunity to speak for a few minutes at this symposium this year. And we do have some free tickets available. We have about 8. So if you are interested in attending, want to attend so that I can see a friendly face in the audience, and because it's going to offer a lot of good, valuable information, just reach out to me. If I have a free ticket available, I'll give them out until they're gone. So just give me a call or shoot me an email, and I will accommodate you if I can. We're going to open it up for questions, so go ahead and start typing in your questions if you have any. Just some house cleaning items again. Our next webinar is next Thursday, of course, June 26th at 9:30 a.m. So, again, if you can join us, that's great. And if not, they are always recorded and always on our website. If you go to urlinsgroup.com, the bottom right-hand side of the homepage, there's a YouTube icon. You just simply click on that icon, and all of the webinars, the PPACA webinars from the past are on there, as well as all of the other departments' webinars that they run. So, just again, if you miss a webinar, you can always get them from our homepage. Hoshi asks, does State of PA offer employee benefits for 2015? I'm not sure, Hoshi, what you're asking. If you're asking about the employee choice on the SHOP program, that is not going to be available in 2015. So if you're asking something different, then you can just give me a call or shoot me an email, and I hopefully can better answer that for you. Tim asks, can you repeat the subsidy check IRS calls talking points? Yes, Tim, they are going to be calling and reaching out to your clients by mail, by phone, and just verifying the income information, as well as checking on citizenship, proof of citizenship, all of that. So that's what they're going to be checking, to make sure that what was entered into that system is correct and accurate. And I don't know if it's being done randomly. I just know that I guess the administration has gotten a lot of heat due to recent hearings, and I think that they're probably just trying to prove that there's accountability. Who knows? But it's happening, and your client should be aware of it. So it's a slim pickings for questions today. That means you guys are all pretty darn smart, so I appreciate that. Pass some of that knowledge on to me, if you will. Again, we're from the beginning, we are sinking and swimming together, so I appreciate all of the questions, because it helps me be better for you guys as well. And Ray, there's a last question. Ray asks if I have a sample wrap document template, and I certainly do. I can send that to you. If anybody else wants that, just shoot me an email, debw@urlinsgroup.com, and I'd be happy to send that to you as well. We have been using the ERISA Edge program for the wrap programs and the summary of plan documents. Prime Pay, I did hear from them earlier this week, and they should be able to roll their product out the end of June. Hopefully, it's going to be something. From what they're telling me, is the price points are actually less than what TASC is offering. I haven't seen anything yet, so again, I'll forward that information when I receive it, because it is something that every employer has to be aware of. Every employer that offers health and welfare benefits. So that's it. That appears to be all of our questions. Once again, I thank you for joining in. I appreciate your business and your support, and I wish you all a very happy day and a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.